Hello and welcome to another episode of the Traction Control podcast. I'm Tom, and this week a break to regular programming as we have a game developer interview. Forza Horizon 6, probably the most important racing game of the year, has just been released. And to understand how the project was developed, why it was set in Japan, if the roads could be wider or narrower, we spoke to two of the Playground Games development team. Mike Bennett, production director, who's been at the studio for over 10 years, and Don Arceta, art director, who's been there for nearly 9 years. And we met them outside in a noisy environment because it was a Forza Horizon 6 launch event and it was meant to be a festival vibe. Outside, sat on a park bench at Caffeine Machine, which is an amazing car culture venue. I do recommend it. But anyway, enough of that waffle. Here is our interview for Forza Horizon 6. So here we are with Mike and Don. We are in, I don't know where we are actually, Stratford-upon-Avon, somewhere near there. Isn't Shakespeare from around here?
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's the right kind of area, yeah. Caffeine
Don't really
Machine.
know. I'm clearly from the north, so I don't really know this area. But Caffeine Machine, correct, Caffeine Machine. Okay, so we're going to have a discussion about Forza Horizon 6. First of all, how are you both?
Doing great.
Really enjoying the event, just looking around the job that the team have done putting it together, seeing the amount of people here, the amount of cool cars here, it's awesome.
Feels like we're at the Horizon Festival.
It does.
Like in the game.
It does,
Yeah.
and that's why there's a bit of background music which people might be able to hear, because it's the Forza Horizon Festival. Lots of cool cars. Look at this for a background as well.
Yeah,
That's
you picked
the
the right
Toyota
car,
there.
I think, to frame as a camera.
Well, I think that was the person off camera who works for Xbox UK who helped with that.
He's
with
got
the
good
setting.
taste.
So yeah, he was on that. So let's talk about the game. What's it now like for you after many years of work for it to culminate in this release? What's this moment like?
It's pretty special, isn't it, Don? I mean, you know, any big game, shipping any game is a massive challenge. It's a huge undertaking, hundreds and hundreds of people involved. This one's felt really special for a number of reasons. And I think we said in some ways it's kind of 14 years in the making, since the very first one launched in, Colorado in America. The location of Japan was always like very near the top of the wish list for a lot of people, including us. And so I think to finally do that location and do that location justice feels incredible.
Yeah, especially this moment in time, it's such a cathartic experience where it's like, we put our blood and sweat into this game and so much passion. And then now it's out, being received well. It's just a great feeling. It's a great feeling right now.
It's quite humbling, really, seeing just the volume of positive reactions, honestly. We believe really passionately that we've built something amazing. People have worked super hard on it, and to get that validation it's an incredible feeling.
Yeah, I bet, and I can see it in your expressions actually. And at the time of recording, the main standard edition hasn't even been released yet, and the response is already overwhelming.
This is it, only early access right now.
Yeah, exactly. Just quickly, just to rewind a bit, Horizon 5 was such a smash hit. Like the player numbers were incredible. There were also some public personnel changes at the top of Playground Games, or people that were recognisable perhaps. Did the success of Horizon 5 put any additional pressure on the team for Horizon 6?
I think, we're always our own worst critics, right? And I think we all feel super privileged to work on this franchise and the legacy that's been built over time, with all the people who've come before and the people who are here now. But ultimately, for me at least, I think we're just super passionate about the game that we build. Like everyone who works at Playground loves working at Playground. They love cars, they love building worlds. And so I think the overarching feeling really is like, every game we go into, regardless of what's happened with the previous one, we just want to make this one even better than the last.
Yeah. As Mike said, we're our worst kind of critic, and we always look for that as the next game as a healthy challenge. Like we kind of try to push ourselves, but in a kind of a healthy way. I guess this one's a little bit different because it's a location that we know that comes with so much expectation and so much. Everyone's wanted it, right? That's why you said 14 years in the making, and I think that additional thing, expectation was different from any other Horizon we've done before.
Yeah. I just we'll talk about the location very, very soon because that's a key point. A lot of questions, a lot of fan questions about that. But just quickly, and you've already alluded to this and kind of answered it already, but it must be extremely gratifying now to see the review scores in particular and the response after quite a long gestation period.
Absolutely, like Don mentioned it before, but it's quite cathartic to get to this moment. And we spend every moment of every day focusing on the tiniest little details and looking at, we're not quite happy enough with this, or this thing could be better. And so that's the lens that you kind of see the game through for a lot of the time, honestly. And so while you still feel really proud of where you've got to, for it to then be out there and for people to say, hey, you know, we really love what the team have built, it's a
great feeling.
It's a really great feeling. Yeah, it is super cathartic to get to this point.
Amazing. And so, let's talk location. You mentioned it both already, that there was always comments online. Oh, is it Japan? Is it Japan? Oh no, it's Mexico, for example, which is really cool. But how did you finally decide on doing Japan for this game? What's the process there?
I guess so. We always go through quite a process after every Horizon game, where we have a long list of locations, then a short list, and then from that short list, obviously, we get the next location. And Japan's been in that long list, short list for forever. For every game, it's been in there. But obviously, the pitches for what Japan has kind of evolved as each game in the series. And I guess for this time, we reached the point in tech and I guess
process, creativity,
exactly,
culture.
Where it was like we can do Japan justice.
I think particularly for choosing to do Tokyo as well as our main urban space, that was a big decision for us. Probably a large proportion of our technical investments went into allowing us to build a space like that. You know, if you look at the previous two games, with Horizon 5 and Horizon 4, we had Guanajuato and Edinburgh, which are amazing cities in their own right, but very, very different in look to what we did in Tokyo. So I think if we had tried to take on this location earlier, it would have taken a very different form. I think everyone kind of had an idea in the back of their mind about what our version of Japan should look like, and we probably wouldn't have been able to properly fulfill that until we'd got to this point, I think.
I mean, Japan is such a varied, amazing location. I just went for the first time last year. It's mind-blowing, but there's so much to it. So talk me through the process of deciding how to sort of maybe scale that down, even though it's such a big game, but take the elements. How do you choose the elements of Japan that you will include and won't include? Yeah,
I guess we start off with the things that you'd expect. So, key landmarks like Tokyo Tower or Nachi Falls Temple and Waterfall. So we kind of try to collect all of the landmarks that Japan's known for, and it's kind of a big research kind of collection, and then along with that we look at the biomes. So what are some cool fun driving roads? So there's the
Bandai Azuma,
Bandai Azuma, Mount Haruna, and there's even the Venus Skyline, which is an amazing driving road along the highlands in Japan. So there's all these like really awesome areas in Japan that we just wanted to capture, and then we took all those places, kind of condensed it. I don't know if there was anything that was left on the cutting board. I feel like everything kind of just.
I mean, there's always something, right? Because as you said, Japan is enormous, but I think we all feel really, really pleased with where we landed. I think that beginning formative stage of building the world is kind of one of the most fun parts. You're kind of putting together this crazy collage, assembling all these little vignettes and trying to give people like a flavor of all the different things they maybe seen or they've imagined in the back of their mind, and trying to reassemble that in a way that it's not a pastiche, but it's our version of what that location would look like through the lens of Horizon. Giving people like diversity of visuals and diversity of experience.
Yeah, like just past games, we always say it's like a holiday going to that destination, and this time we really lent into that tourist vibe. And if I was a tourist, what would I want to see? And that kind of led to what made it into the map as well. So
I think one of the most fun things for this location as well that we've not really lent into previously is one of the things like I've loved seeing the most in Japan when you kind of look at videos of that location online is all the kind of smaller like grassroots race circuits that they have, and
there's quite a few that look quite similar in
some inspiration we took there for sure, and being able to introduce those into the game. And then you may have seen we have our new open world time attack tech, where you can just come across one of these time circuits, these open world time attack circuits in the world. You can just drive through the race gantry and you just start hot lapping straight away. It's completely seamless. You've got other people around you. It's amazing. And so I think that's just a really nice coming together of something we saw in the location that we went and built just to make it a cool visual and driving experience, but then our game design team kind of came in and really leveraged that and elevated it, I think, beyond what we'd originally even thought of. So, yeah.
It's a spectacular end result. The location is really central to the experience, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Slightly, well, related to that, but slightly adjacent, I say. I think also the cars are really important. How do you go about choosing which particular cars to include in a Japanese set?
So
because there's so many.
Yeah, it's that's probably one of the hardest parts of the job. Maybe even harder than the location. I'm not sure. I mean, we're really privileged, I think, with Forza and with Horizon, in that we have this enormous back catalogue of cars, and as much as we would love it to be as simple as like, hey, we've built all those cars, we can just bring them into the next one. It's not as simple as that. You have to go and undertake a load of work to bring those up to spec, make them work with a new engine, and so you cannot just simply take those cars from the last game and make them work with the next one. So we know there's fan favourites. We have really rich data that tells us what people drive, what they spend the most time in. And then we always look at the location as well and see, well, what are some iconic vehicles associated with that location that we really want to make sure we're featuring and we're utilising as much as possible. And as you mentioned earlier, like a location like Japan, car culture is massive there. So we really made sure that we made some investments there. Some of our longest standing vehicles from the back catalogue, we've actually rebuilt those for Forza Horizon 6. So you'll see some of the vehicle models have been updated and are better represented than they've ever been before as well. And then it kind of not quite the roster of cars, but we've also gone to the lengths of, okay, what other investments can we make? So things like the window liveries on windows, a small touch, something people have wanted for ages. We've wanted it for ages, and I think being able to bring that and just again elevate car customization a little bit within the game, that's been really nice to do. We have 100 new rims in the game as well, so if you want to go and build like a JDM Icon, 240Z or an original Skyline, you can throw on a set of RS Watanabes and really get that exact look. So yeah, it's challenging. I think the other thing I would say that goes into that process is there are a lot of really, really passionate car people in the game, in the company, sorry. And so there's a kind of coming together of all those folks, sharing ideas, and just through process, I think generally the right stuff finds its way to the top of the list.
Yeah, that's a good point actually you mentioned there. It's not just the vehicles, it's the customization, which is much more expanded this time. The car details are insane, like the customization options, as we were saying there. But also I think, just going quickly back to the environment, I see over there, for example, there's a representation of a 365 store, which reminds me of a certain brand that maybe we can't say.
Yep, sure.
That are all over Japan, right?
Yep.
So from an art direction point of view, are you looking at those smaller details as well and considering?
Definitely. So we wanted to support that. Obviously, Japan has a rich car culture, and that convenience store or parking outside convenies and parking lots. It's part of the culture, and that's what we wanted to create things in that space where car enthusiasts can kind of just enjoy and take pictures and kind of role play in this area. So yeah, we have the convenies, we have parking lots everywhere. We have the grassroots time attack circuits. So we put as much detail and attention to the environment just to support that kind of fantasy.
There's a really nice point there as well, Don, is that I think the team have done probably the best job they ever have of building the world in a way that kind of supports that role-playing fantasy, right? We have car parks everywhere, right? So, Don's team do this incredible job of building these amazing vistas all around the world. But you'll find you're never too far away from a car park or a lay-by or somewhere that you can just pull up and park up and kind of appreciate the scenery and, spot the iconic Mount Fuji up in the distance. And I think that's nice. And hopefully we'll see players sort of indulging in that as the game goes live and people are convoyed up and driving around.
Japan's a vibe, right?
Yeah.
I think, and then we're trying to introduce all those elements to kind of get that vibe on.
Yeah. Plus the music as well. I think that really works great in the game.
Yeah, our audio team has done an amazing job with the soundtrack. I think we have over 200 tracks. It's the biggest soundtrack we've ever had in a Forza Horizon game. Amazing diversity. I've just been spending a lot of time driving around with Wave on.
One thing I'd like to talk about is having played through it for review last week myself and really enjoyed it. The progression systems seem a lot more overt than especially 4 and to a lesser extent 5. There's a clearer structure with the journal and the wristband system. Mm-hmm. Could either of you talk to me about the decision behind doing that? I think it's a real positive in myself, but how do you also balance that with people who might still want more instant gratification? What's the thinking process behind it?
Yeah, I guess I'll offer my view on it. So the kind of challenge we have, and it's a good challenge to have, is that our games, they're massive now. We have such a broad audience, and
selling a few copies.
And you kind of see this thing where you have so many different people. Forza Horizon is so many different things to so many different people. Really early on when we go and do our research, you find people play the game in so many different ways. Some people, they don't even really engage in like the curated race content. They just go and pick the car they want to pick. They build the car they want to build it, and they'll just drive the game world, and that's how they want to experience it. And so we kind of saw that, and then we also saw the hunger and the desire that people had for maybe a more meaningful progression system. We're like, well, how can we try and balance those two needs, right? They're kind of opposed to each other in some ways, and I think that sort of led to the design that our game design team landed on, where you've kind of got the double entry in the journal system there, right? So we do reward people for the typical Horizon progression, where if you go and engage in the Horizon events, so the PR stunts, the races, you're going to level up, you're going to get your wristbands, you're going to hit those milestone events, the showcases, the rush events. But then equally, if you just want to drive around and take in the game world, you're going to be taking photos, exploring, discovering, and you're going to just progress through discovery, through a kind of more passive experience of the game world. And I think it's great. Whatever you are choosing to do based on your player type, or maybe just on your mood on a given day, you're still going to feel like you're achieving something and moving forward and being rewarded for it.
Well, yeah, I really appreciate the structure personally, but also I have a colleague who just went around and found all the XP boards straight away. So it's great that you've got the option of doing both, and both type of players can enjoy it. Kind of a generic question now, but do you have a particular high point of Horizon 6 that either of you are particularly proud of or enjoy? We'll start with you, Don.
Oh man, I guess I think
big question out of nowhere. Sorry.
Yeah. From the art side, I guess I'm very proud of the map. Just the map all up. I think we captured all the elements of Japan that we wanted to capture, and there's a few surprises in there as well. But yeah, I think the map I'm really proud of, and probably the feature that I enjoy the most out of the game is auto drive. Auto drive actually lets me enjoy that world in a very chilled, different way that we haven't really done in past games.
And there's a fun story behind that as well, right? Because we really pride ourselves at Playground of considering like accessibility. For the last couple of games, that's been a big thing now. And auto drive originally kind of came about as an accessibility feature, which is like how do we broaden access to our game for people who are maybe they have struggles using a controller, or they're not particularly skilled, maybe because they're a younger player. Like, we could kind of enable the ability for the car to drive itself automatically. And so once we had that kind of hooked up and working in there, very quickly we kind of found ourselves like using it just as a sort of passive, like get between events, set the cinematic camera and just kind of sit back and let the game wash over you. And it's like, we didn't really expect it to be used in this way. And we're seeing people use that online as well. Like on YouTube, you've got creators playing the game, and they're using that for their B-roll, which is kind of fun. So yeah, it's interesting when a feature like that kind of takes on its own life and becomes something different to how you imagined it. For me, for like high point, I mean, it's kind of like the classic asking someone to choose their favourite child question.
I know, it's such a banal question. I'm so sorry.
No,
I've gone for it, so you have to answer it, I'm afraid.
It's good. A feature for me that I really love is the aftermarket car system. So
yes, they're dotted around the map. You can buy it. It's almost like a used car, but they're not. They're already pre-modified.
100%, yeah. So we, for people who played our previous games, or maybe who haven't, the traditional way you acquire cars is you go to the auto show. We have this enormous roster of vehicles you can go and buy there. Hundreds and hundreds of them, and that's your kind of primary way of acquiring cars. And that's great. It's, I think, super low friction way of get the car you want, buy it, build it, go and live out the fantasy. And then we've had other ways of acquiring cars through things like barn finds, and then as race rewards as well for more exclusive cars. And then we've had the auction house system as well, where people can modify and like sell on cars that they've maybe worked up or they're not interested in driving. But the aftermarket car system was really, again, another way to try and make the world feel more alive, make it feel more believable, more immersive, and again, like reward people for exploration. So, you know, if you're a car person, I think that fantasy of like driving up and like spotting a cool car for sale somewhere and like, oh, you know, I want to go and check that out and engage with it. Something we hadn't really done before, and seeing that come to life and then being able to leverage that system as well, not just for stock cars, but for like pre-modified cars. We have some of our Forza editions are available through that mechanism. You know, even as a developer, like I find myself when I'm just cruising around exploring the map, like, oh, there's an aftermarket car there, I'm going to nip in, I'm going to see what's for sale, I'm going to check it out. So that's been really fun, and I think that's got some really great feedback from people as well, so really, really proud about that. But yeah, I go back to Don's point as well, just the map, honestly, I think the team have done such an amazing job with it. You know, we're always proud of every game, but this one in particular, it's bigger than any map that we made before, but I think that the more important thing, I think, is it's the detail of it, the kind of richness of the environment, how much there is to see and explore, how alive it feels. I think that's where the team have really, really kind of leveled up versus the last game, which was amazing in its own right.
Yeah, well, not that you want my opinion, but I'm going to give you it anyway. The environment's incredible, and I do enjoy the aftermarket car system, actually. I spent the first several hours thinking I had to get them all. You don't necessarily have to, but it's actually a really cool, engaging concept.
That's awesome to hear.
Far more interesting than just going in the menu or the auto show. It's like a bit of discovery going on there. So that's great. Right, so now we've got some questions from our Traxion community. So thank you very much to everyone who left a comment. I posted it on a service station on the drive down and got quite a few in immediately. People are very hyped about this game. Did only developing on the current gen consoles and not on Xbox One give any extra headroom?
Oh, definitely.
For development,
yeah, it definitely gave us some headroom. It allowed us to build the map that is in the game right now. So, yeah, it was huge, and also this being our kind of second title in the current generation, we were able to kind of leverage all that tech from the last game and improve it. So yes, dropping last gen was good for us.
Yeah, I must say, playing on PC, but also a Series X. It looks spectacular on a Series X, actually. Really, people who have that and don't have an expensive PC, they're still going to have a really amazing visual experience, I think. So the other thing is PlayStation 5 still in the works?
Yeah, absolutely. That's still be coming later this year. So yeah, stay tuned for news on that.
Amazing. Right, then we've got quite a few people who we cover all types of racing and driving games, but we also cover the more serious sim games. I know this game is not that in any way, but there are quite a few comments of saying my specific wheel doesn't have force feedback, or will you continue working on supporting wheels further? Yeah,
so you know, our games typically have a pretty long tail with the live program now, expansions. Yeah, we have some passionate folks on our team who play a lot with wheels. I think the official wheel support list should be available upon the Forza.net site, so you can go there and check things out. And then, yeah, when news becomes available about as that support expands, there should be news to follow.
Good. I hope the few people there who asked that will sit tight and see what the future brings. You did mention expansions there. What can players expect from them?
We're not ready to talk about that yet today. But
there's a surprise.
They should expect more great content from the team. Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Good answer. He's been well PR trained. And I suppose two final things. One is, what's the decision behind sometimes widening some of the roads?
Oh, I can speak to this one. So it's always funny, that feedback. I get it. I think particularly if you are someone maybe such as yourself who's more from the sim world, you know, you guys want that kind of hyper-real, like accurate one-to-one representation of the roads. And some people do that super well. I think that's just not what our game is about, right? We want people to jump in any car of their choice and feel like a hero and have an amazing time cruising the roads and taking in the game world. And I think the thing is, if you make the roads super narrow, it becomes a bit more challenging to have that experience. So we spend a lot of time trying to get the visuals of those roads to be as accurate as we can, with the caveat that they will be broader. But I think we're pretty comfortable with that from a design decision. You know, whenever you're building a game, you're trying to make the best decisions for that game for your players. And I think that's another area where, you know, in our vision of the location, Horizon's vision of the location, our roads are a bit bigger, but yeah, that's because we want to allow a type of experience for the player there.
And I think the same would apply to the volume of traffic It's basically the same answer.
Yeah, 100%. You know, you said you've been to Japan yourself now,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if you went to Tokyo.
I don't know why I did that flex in this interview, but anyway.
There tend to be quite a lot of cars on the roads. If you want to drive through Shibuya Junction at 200 miles an hour and it's filled with the same volume of cars that you would have there in real life.
It's not possible.
It's not possible, yeah. So I think it comes down to a design decision ultimately, yeah.
That's fair. I actually just want to loop back very quickly before we finish to the PlayStation 5. You said it's still on, this game's confirmed, it's still in development for Horizon 6, but is it also gratifying to see so many players play Horizon 5 on PS5? It came out like 4 years later, it was still a full price, and I think the sales numbers are astronomical, right? So is it just great to have more people experiencing what you've made?
Yeah. I think it kind of blew us away, honestly. It was pretty humbling to see the reaction. Yeah, we just love building games, we love people playing our games, and to welcome a new audience of people from the PlayStation side into Forza Horizon and let them experience what they've been missing out on for so many years. The reaction to that was incredible, yeah. Amazing.
Wonderful. Well, final question to end, and thank you both for your time. Obviously, good luck with the launch. Seems a little like a pointless thing. It's continued launch.
Yeah.
It's already done really well. The game's already been well received.
Yeah.
But just final thoughts is, what are your expectations for a couple of days' time? I suppose it's such a crappy question, but you're looking forward to seeing even more people playing the standard edition in the next couple of days from now.
I mean, I definitely am specifically on the UGC of the game because I love the garage customizer in the States. So
there's going to be so many more people now.
I'm looking forward. There's already some great stuff out there already. But yeah, I'm super excited next week once even more people join in.
Yeah, I think Don said it perfectly. The more people playing the game, the more exciting it is for us. Yeah, our UGC system really comes to life the more the audience grows. Already there are some super cool creations in there. In the garage customizer, the livery editors coming to life as well with the cars. The window liveries as well. So yeah, I'm just going to be staying tuned to social media, YouTube and everything, and just seeing what people are saying about the game.
Wonderful. Well, Don, Mike, a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the successful launch and an amazing game. And enjoy the rest of your day. Hope it doesn't rain too much.
Will do. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you again for Mike and Don for their time. It was lovely to speak to them about such a monumental and significant game release. Obviously, the Traxion podcast is your place if you want the latest developer interviews. And at the time of recording, I've got 2 more lined up, I think. So please subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the Traxion Control YouTube channel. And also follow the Traxion newsletter, traxion.gg/newsletter, the Discord, traxion.gg/Discord, and the website, which is just traxion.gg. Thanks for listening. See you next week.